There are days when even small choices feel too heavy. You wake up and your mind is already racing. Should I move on? Should I stay? Am I doing enough? It's not that we don't know what we want, it's that everything feels urgent. Too many paths, too many opinions, too many expectations. And somewhere between all those voices, we start to lose our own. We scroll through everyone else's highlight reels and feel strangely behind. Even when deep down nothing is actually wrong, we buy things hoping they'll make us feel complete. We keep busy hoping movement will bring meaning. But the truth is, many of us are just tired of chasing peace that keeps moving further away. And maybe that's what brings you here. A quiet feeling that something in this more is missing. Before we go deeper, if reflections like this help you pause and breathe, please take a second to subscribe. It helps this small corner of calm reach others who are also trying to find their balance in a loud world. Now let's go through 10 lessons that can help us reshape our perspective so we can be wiser, lighter, and more peaceful in the way we make decisions. Lesson 1. Pause before you add more. We live in a world that praises addition, add more skills, add more goals, add more proof that you're doing okay. But what if the reason we feel lost isn't because something's missing, but because there's too much? When the mind is cluttered, intuition goes quiet. When the calendar is full, joy runs late. It's like carrying a backpack filled with things you haven't used in years. You can still walk, but every step feels heavier than it should. Sometimes you don't need to find a new road. You just need to lighten your load. Before adding anything new, pause. Ask yourself, what can I remove that's stealing my clarity? Peace rarely comes from gaining, it often comes from releasing. The wise learn subtraction before addition. Each unnecessary desire costs energy. Try a daily practice of one less. Remove one task, one worry, or one expectation. Notice how your focus sharpens. The mind, like a room, is brighter when uncluttered. Lesson 2. Question the illusion of more. The strange thing about more is that it never ends. More income brings more expenses. More comfort brings more upkeep. More attention brings more pressure. We often buy things not for their purpose, but for how they look, to our eyes and to others. It's like collecting seashells at the beach. At first, it's fun. Every new shell feels special, but soon your hands are too full to enjoy them. You can't hold them all, and what once felt beautiful becomes stressful to manage. Before saying yes to something new, ask, will this make my life lighter or heavier? If it adds weight without meaning, it's not progress, it's distraction. Let more serve your life, not define it. The mind that always reaches outward forgets how to enjoy what's within reach. When tempted by more, pause for one slow breath and remind yourself, I already have everything necessary for this moment. This short pause builds contentment stronger than any purchase. Lesson 3. Redefine success. So much of our anxiety comes from chasing a version of success that wasn't ours to begin with. Someone else's timeline, someone else's lifestyle, someone else's approval. But you get to decide what success means. And it changes with each season of life. Think of a tree growing in a forest. It doesn't compare its height to the one beside it. It bends toward the light that suits its position, trusting that its growth is still valid. Redefine success in your own words. Maybe it's stability, balance, or inner calm. That's not mediocrity. That's maturity. When you stop performing success for others, you start feeling it for yourself. Ask yourself each morning, what would success look like if no one could see it? Measure life by effort, not applause. A good day is one lived with integrity, even if unseen. This shift turns ambition from comparison into craftsmanship. Lesson 4. Let go of control. We try so hard to plan everything, our careers, our timing, our outcomes. But life always has its own rhythm. A plan fails, a door closes, and suddenly we question everything. But maybe life isn't punishing you. It's repositioning you. It's like sailing. If you fight the wind, the sail snaps. But when you adjust, the same wind carries you forward. When things don't go your way, instead of asking, why me? Ask, what is this showing me? Peace doesn't come from perfect plans. It comes from trust, from knowing that detours still lead somewhere worthwhile. You can't steer the wind, only the sail. When plans change, practice voluntary acceptance. Say, I choose to work with this, not against it. Then act on what's still within your control, your attitude, your next step, your tone. Lesson 5, simplify what you carry. Our homes, our minds, our hearts, they all get heavy when filled with too much. Look around how many of your belongings, habits, or commitments actually make your life better, and how many are there simply because they've always been there. Think of your mind as a room. When it's messy, even resting inside it feels exhausting. But tidy one small corner and suddenly the air changes. Simplify your life. Clear one space today, your desk, your phone, or your thoughts. Cancel one commitment that drains you. Say no without apology. Peace isn't created by doing more. It's invited in by making space. Simplicity is a kind of strength. The one who owns less fears less. At the end of each week, ask, what did I carry that wasn't necessary? Release one burden, physical or emotional, before the weekend begins. Lesson 6, invest in what lasts, the things we cling to most. Titles, possessions, opinions. Fade faster than we think. But kindness, integrity, and calm, they grow stronger the more we use them. It's like building a house. You can decorate the walls beautifully, but if the foundation is weak, it won't last through a storm. Character is that foundation. Focus on what time can't erase. Be the person who can lose something without losing themselves. That's the kind of wealth that follows you everywhere, even when nothing else does. Each night, review the day briefly. Did I act with fairness? Did I overreact? Did I help someone? This quiet audit trains stability. External rewards may disappear, but self-respect compounds daily interest. Lesson 7, practice enough. There's a moment when chasing more starts to feel like losing yourself. No matter how much you get, something still feels missing. That's your signal to stop running. It's like pouring water into a full glass. After a certain point, you're just spilling peace. Each day, name 3 things that already make life good. The smell of coffee, a message from someone you care about, the quiet after a long day. Gratitude isn't denial of problems. It's a way to remind yourself that not everything needs fixing. When you stop measuring, you start appreciating. And that's when peace quietly returns. At day's end, whisper, this is enough. Not as resignation, but as recognition. Train your mind to desire less. Every reduced desire is an increase in freedom. Contentment isn't comfort. It's control over craving. Lesson 8, free yourself from confusion. Confusion isn't always a sign you're wrong. Sometimes it's just your mind asking for rest. Imagine a glass of muddy water. If you keep stirring it, it stays cloudy. But if you leave it alone, the dirt settles and clarity appears naturally. That's what stillness does. It lets your thoughts separate from your fears. When overwhelmed, reduce the noise. Log out for a while. Do one thing at a time, just one. Let silence become part of your routine, not as escape, but as alignment. When the water is still, reflection becomes clear. Delay reaction until emotion cools. Confusion often hides behind urgency. When unsure, practice the pause of a breath. One full inhale before you decide. One full exhale before you speak. Wisdom often arrives in that small space. Lesson 9, choose gratitude over comparison. You can admire beauty without owning it. You can celebrate others' success without feeling smaller. It's like looking at the night sky. Their stars don't make yours any dimmer. But if you keep staring only at theirs, you forget the constellations shining quietly above you. When comparison sneaks in, say, "I'm happy this exists in the world." That simple shift turns envy into appreciation. And the more you practice it, the lighter your heart feels. Comparison is imagination turned against you. Whenever jealousy appears, convert it to curiosity. What effort or virtue created that result? Learn from it instead of resenting it. Admiration teaches, envy traps. Lesson 10, the art of letting go. Eventually, we all face moments of release, of plans, people, or identities that no longer fit who we're becoming. It's not about loss, it's about space. Holding on too tightly is like gripping sand. The harder you squeeze, the faster it slips away. But when you hold it gently, you can actually feel its warmth and texture. Each time you feel weighed down, ask, "What am I holding that no longer serves me?" Then release it one piece at a time. Letting go isn't giving up. It's returning to peace. Everything is borrowed. Moments, roles, possessions. When something leaves, whisper, "It was given, now it's returned." Practice graceful detachment. To hold lightly is to suffer less. If this reflection has brought you a moment of calm, please consider subscribing. Not for numbers, but so this space can keep growing into a quiet refuge. For people like you who are tired of rushing and ready to live with intention again. So friends, let us learn to live lightly. We spend so much of life trying to prove we're okay. Collecting achievements, decorating our days, chasing the feeling of finally enough. But peace doesn't arrive with a purchase or promotion. It appears quietly. When we stop performing happiness and start living honestly. At the end of the day, what we own matters less than how we lived, how we loved, and how gently we treated the people around us, including ourselves. You don't need to control everything. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to be here, present, aware, human. Because maybe life's greatest freedom isn't in having everything, but in needing very little. So if you've been confused or overwhelmed lately, maybe it's not failure. Maybe it's just life reminding you to pause, breathe, and let the noise settle so you can finally hear what truly matters.